In this NCAA 13 tips breakdown, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how we like to enhance screens in this year's game. But before we get into doing this breakdown, I want to remind you guys that this is the demo, so this could change once the game is actually released. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And what we're going to wind up doing is enhancing a slip screen out of the A slot. So let's go ahead and take a look at the play that we're going to do this from. And again, it is the halfback slip screen out of the A slot. And what we're going to do here is we're going to run this against a dime normal cover 3. And one of the things that over the years that we've seen happen, and I'm sure you guys have seen it happen as well, is that this defensive end, let's go ahead and take a look at him here, and this is going to wind up being the left end as you look at him. And what he's going to wind up doing is he's actually going to wind up, a lot of times if you run a slip screen, he'll actually come out here and try to defend this screen, and then a lot of times you actually might wind up blowing up the play. So one of the things you can do to go ahead and counter that this year and not have that happen is, or at least try to go ahead and make sure it doesn't happen, is to go ahead and hot route the halfback. Rather than have him running that screen, you can go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and just do that right there. As you look at your screen, you can see that what I wind up doing with him is that I put him on a swing route towards the right. Now let's go ahead and do this, and I realized that I got to delay a game there. But one of the things I wanted to show is this could be pretty effective as far as countering, as far as with that defensive end, as far as him going out and cover that. Let's go ahead and call timeout here so I can give myself a little bit extra time while I'm showing this to you. Let's go back here and find that slip screen play. And the same thing on defense, run the same play. So let's go ahead and hot route the halfback on the swing route towards the right. So let's go ahead and do that first. And then what you're going to wind up doing with him when you do this is just go ahead and show that right there. You can see he's running the swing route towards the right side. And what's going to wind up happening is you're going to have these linemen pulling out as well. Now, one thing I can tell you by doing this is that the halfback might wind up outrunning the screen. So what will wind up happening is when I make this throw, there's a very, very good chance once I drop this quarterback back into this area here, I'll just go ahead and kind of show this and I'll run the play. He may make the catch about here and he'll wind up making it in front. Let's go ahead and run it because we're running out of time here. But you can kind of see once he gets out in the front, then you get those blockers out there, and a lot of times you can pick up some more positive yards than what I'm showing there. We wind up picking up 4 there. Let's go ahead and run the same play again, and let's go ahead and flip it to the other side and do the same thing. Again, we're going to go ahead and hot route the halfback on a swing route towards the right, or in this case towards the left this time. And this time we're just going to go ahead and throw the ball over to him over on the left side. And a lot of times, as I said before, you can see we get those guys out in front. We come up that way, and we wind up picking up some more positive yards. Again, we wind up picking up another 4 yards. So hopefully this is something that you can do that will prevent that defensive end from coming out. As you're watching, you'll notice that the defense never does come out there. Now, as far as picking up a lot of yards, you may not always, but it's at least going to keep that defensive end from getting out there. So this might be something that you might consider doing to prevent that from happening here. You can see, again, we wind up getting out in the front. We cut up back inside, and we wind up picking up some positive yardage. So at any rate, I wanted to show that this week here for our NCAA tips breakdown as far as for NCAA 13 is something that you can do to go ahead and pick up some yardage without having that defensive end coming out and blowing up the play as far as the screenplay goes. So again, this is something that's it's from the demo, so I don't know if 100% it's going to wind up being in the game once the game is actually released.